As a silent protest at being taken away from his home, Teddy refused to join in activities with the other children on board ship. Elliot and Coney made new friends, while Teddy sat facing the endless ocean rereading copies of his Our Young Folks magazines. His father tried to cheer him with stories of his grandmother Roosevelt's ancestors, Quakers who long ago had crossed the Atlantic Ocean to join William Penn in his new colony. But Teddy was in no mood to be distracted. About 3 days into the voyage, Teddy did allow himself to talk to another passenger, not a child, but an adult named Mr. St. John. Mr. St. John was a sickly old man who spoke barely above a whisper. He was from the West Indies, and Teddy could not resist asking him questions about the plants and animals in those islands. As it turned out, Mr. St. John had a wealth of information and stories about wildlife, and the pair were soon engaged in deep conversation on the aft deck. Once Teddy had Mr. St. John to talk to, the remaining 6 days of the voyage across the Atlantic Ocean passed quickly. Finally, on the afternoon of Friday, May 21st, the Scotia steamed through the Irish Sea. The Roosevelt children took turns peering through their father's telescope. Teddy was excited as he saw signs of civilization come into view: windmills, farmhouses, and best of all, the suspension bridge at Holyhead. By nightfall, the ship had sailed into the Mersey River and was preparing to dock at Liverpool. Suddenly, Teddy felt frightened by the uncertainty of what lay ahead. While Elliot and Coney poked their heads through the railing, straining to see their uncles in the crowd on the wharf, Teddy slipped into the salon to read a book. His father found him there and firmly propelled him to his cabin to get his carpet-bag so the family could disembark. On the dock, in a swirl of hugs and handshakes, Teddy was introduced to Uncle Irvine and Uncle James. He watched in dismay as his mother burst into tears, clinging to her brothers as if her life depended on it. The following day, the Roosevelt children were introduced to Aunt Hattie and their 3 young cousins. Teddy found their Southern manners a little too much to bear, and he wrote home to his friend Edith. "Coney and I want you very much to play with. The day after we landed, we saw our cousins. I do not think you would like them so much because they kiss so much." For the next few days, Teddy's mother drank endless cups of tea with her banished relatives. She had not seen her brother James for 8 years, and they had much to talk about. In the meantime, Theodore Roosevelt took the children on day excursions to the seaside. They waded in the ocean and collected shells. Sometimes they went on long carriage rides in the countryside, where Teddy was delighted by the strange plants, hedgehogs, stoats, weasels, and other animals he had not seen before. On June 2, 1869, the Roosevelt